Hello dear students, welcome to the E-Pathashala. I am Vimala, Assistant Professor, Department of Commerce, Avinash Lingam Institute for Home Science and Higher Education for Women, Coimbatore, Tamil Nadu. Today I am going to discuss about tabulation of data. Let us understand what the tabulation of data. The progression of placing of the records or statistics or facts or any figures into a tabular form is known as a tabulation. A table is a systematic display of arithmetical data in columns or rows. Rows are horizontally represented, whereas columns are represented either perpendicularly or vertically. Tabulation is a method of summarizing classified or grouped data in the structure of a table. So, it is very simple to understand and where an examiner is promptly able to put the desired information in a systematic manner. Thus, the statistical table makes it very possible for a researcher to present huge data or information in a meticulous and systematic form. It facilitates an association and regularly reveals certain pattern in data, what are otherwise not an evidence. Whereas classification and tabulation as a subject of reality are not two discrete processes. They go together. So now let us understand few definitions. What exactly the definition says about the term tabulation. Tabulation passes on to the meticulous arrangement of information into rows and columns. The rows are the horizontal arrangements, whereas the columns are vertically arranged. The definition itself says that the tabulation is an arrangement of the records or facts or any statistics in a rectangular structure with a suitable headings to make it very clear to special rows and columns. The main purpose of the table is to make simpler the figures or the numbers and to facilitate the comparisons. This is about what the definition says. Let us understand some of the objectives of tabulation. What is the main objectives of the tabulation? Here the core objectives of the tabulations are to bring out an investigation or an evaluation of the data in a systematic manner. The second objective is it helps us to find out the omission and errors in the data. It also employs a space economically. And the fourth objective is it helps the learner to develop the trends and to make the things easier to understand the statistical figures for the future reference. And finally, it also facilitates the process of comparison, summarization and deduction of computational errors. Now let us move on to the next aspects. Principles of tabulations. So here we have to understand some of the principles of tabulation. The first principle when we tabulating the data are tabulation should be very clear, concise and adequately titled. And the second principle you need to follow is every table should be distinctly numbered for easy reference. The third principle you should follow is column headings and the rows headings of the table should be clear and brief. The units of measure should be specified at an appropriate place. And the next principle is explanatory notes concerning the table should be placed at an appropriate place. And the further principles are the sources of information of the data should be very clearly indicated. The columns and the rows should be clearly separated in a dark line so that the readers and researchers can easily understand. And the comparable data should be put in side by side so that it should be easier for the reader. And the next is the figures in a percentage should be approximated before the tabulation. And the last principles is the alignment of the figures, symbols, etc. should be properly aligned and adequately spaced and enhanced and readability of the same. Whereas very important aspects you should note in a tabulation is abbreviation should not be noted. These are the few principles you have to take into the consideration before framing the data in a tabular form. Next, let us understand some of the importance of tabulation. So why we are giving much importance for tabulation? After collecting the data, the very primary aspects we have to give importance to the tabulations, because tabulation helps us to understand the data in a systematic manner. Let us understand some of the importance. Under tabulation, the data are divided into various parts. For each parts, there are total and subtotals. Therefore, the relationship between the different parts can be easily known with the help of the table. This is the first aspect why we give more importance to the tabulation. The second is, since the data are arranged in a table with a title and a number, so this can be easily identified and used for the required purpose. And the tabulation makes the data very precise and brief. Therefore, it can be easily presented in the form of either graph or in a chart, so that the reader or investigator or examiner can be easily understand. And the tabulation makes the complex data very simple, and as a result of this, it becomes easier, very simpler form to understand the concept. And the next is, this form of presentation of data in the table is helpful in finding the mistakes also. The tabulation makes very easy to analyze the data from the tables. So, tabulation is very cheaper mode of presentation of data. It saves more time as well as it also consumes more space in the research work. And the last most important aspect is, tabulation is a device to summarize the large scattered data, so that the maximum information may be collected from this table can be utilized in a very effective manner. These are some of the importance of the tabulations. Now, let us understand preparations of tables. So, how we have to prepare the tables and what are the aspects or contents to be included for a perfect table. So, let us understand, when you are preparing a table or when you are putting a data in a tabular form, first aspect is you should be in a position to number the table. So, the first aspects to preparing the table is table number should be included, so that it helps when a table or a book contains more than one table. Each table must be numbered in a sequential order, so it may be easier for the reference, and the number of tables should be placed in the middle on the top of the table. The second, after numbering the table, it is very important you should be very clear about the title. What is the title? It should be very relevant and suitable to the heading. So that the headings of the table should be very short, clear, and it should indicate for what purpose, or it should convey the purpose of the table. It should contain at least minimum 4 type of information. One is the subject matter, and another one is time and basis of classification and the sources. These are the basic aspects you should be taken into consideration when you are naming the title of the table. So, beside this main titles or main heading, there may be subheadings also. So, how you should name these subheadings? The title should be so worded that it permits one and only one interpretation. Its letter should be the most prominent of any lettering of on the table. Long title cannot be read as a promptly as a short titles, but they may have to be used for the sake of clarity when it is necessary. In such a situation, the title should be very catchy. It should make the meaningful for the main title. The third option is, in a table, very important aspects is caption and stubs. What is this caption? Captions are that is referred to the vertical column headings, whereas stubs refers to the horizontal row headings. When you are preparing a table, when you are constructing a table, the captions generally gives the basis of classification. For instance, for example, the sex, occupation, meters, etc. These are some examples. Either you can represent in the form of columns or in the form of rows. Under the column heading, there may be again subheadings also. The caption should be clearly defined and placed at the mid of the column. It is desirable to the number each columns and rows referred and to the facilitate the comparison. So, it is very important to be concentrate on the stubs as well as columns. After preparing, it is very important head notes also. During the preparation of the table headings, the head note is very important. The head note is a statement given below the title which clarifies the content of the table. For example, in a table, it gives an explanation concerning entire table or a main part. For example, units of measurement. Usually, it expressed in terms of hectares, millions or rupees. For example, when you are preparing the table, you are mentioning in the column some numerical values. It should give some meaningful values. Whether the number represent it is kilometers or rupees or dollars or pounds or hectares, whatever it may be, it is very important to specify the head note. After this, the body of the letter. The body of the letters or body of the table contains the figures that are presented to the readers. The table must contain subtotal of each separate classes of the data and grand total for combined class. the sources. After preparing the table, it's very important to mention the sources. The sources is given in case of secondary data, whereas if you find out the table, if you are preparing the table using the primary data, you should mention that the source is from the pilot study or it is from the survey data. In case of secondary data, it gives the sources from where the data has been obtained. You have to mention the source below the table, such as book name, page number, table number, etc., to be where you are collected relating to this table. And here are the some format. I have given some format for the tabulation of the data. Just look into that. It should comprise as table number, title of the table, head note, followed by that when you are constructing the table, it should include the column, captions of the column heading, and stubs, row headings, body of the table, and subtotal, grand total. After constructing the table, below that it is very important giving the footnote as well as source. And some of the examples I have been discussed here. For example, when you are going to present the statistical data or a unitextual presentation of the data relating to the student of universities is shown in the table. This status of the students of a university on the basis of the discipline. Say for example, the students may be admitted for the science commerce during the academic year 16-17. How we are going to tabulate, that was presented in the slides. Let us understand, tabulation of data also involves counting of responses. So what is this counting of responses? When an investigator or a researcher requires or identify how many respondents in terms of percentage or in terms of numbers chosen for possible responses, normally the researcher survey questions. The researcher prepare the questions in two categories. One is close-ended questions and another one is open-ended questions. Close-ended questions are already put up for simplicity of tabulation. Effective response standard values are planned in an investigative analysis from the survey for respondent to decide on the allowing for uncomplicated tabulation for the result without the requirement for complex data and misinterpretation of the data. This is all about close-ended questions. Let us understand what is open-ended questions. Open-ended questions are commonly not in a ready form to tabulate structure. In order to regulate the quantitatively analyze open-ended comments, the response must first be coded to allow for tabulation. For example, coding is regularly construction manual procedure for coded into standardized numeric value. For example, results can be readily be tabulated in the same way to close-ended data. This is about open-ended questions category as well as close-ended categories. There are some of the types of tabulations are there. Let us understand the types of tabulations. The table or the classifications of table or types of tabulations are broadly categorized into three types. One is simple tabulation, second is the double tabulation, and third is complex tabulation. It also called as a cross tabulation. Let us understand what is simple tabulation. The figures are tabulated in one typical format. It is also called as a one-way table or one-way tabulation. For instance, a class survey is conducted on July 7th, 2017. How to determine the frequency of the number of students owing different types of brands of pens. For example, the students may use different brands of pens. For example, Montblanc, Cello, Renault, Camlin, Sherford, Peppermint, Shanghai Hero, Parker, AT Cross, Aurora, etc. These are some of the brands they are going to use. So how we have to tabulate in this? In an example, you are going to, in one-way table, you are going to put the brands of table on one side and how many brands, how many students are using each brands, and total is presented in that table. Let us understand now double tabulation. Double tabulation is nothing but two unique of data are tabulated. It is also called as a two-way table. For example, the number of girls and boys in a school or a class owing different brands of laptop. For example, Apple, IBM, HP, Lenovo, Sony, Acer, Dell, etc. Whatever it may be, how you are going to tabulate in a two-way table. So here also you are going to put it in the table in a two-way column. One is male, female, and total, and the brands of the table, and you are going to represent in the tabular form, which is as presented in the slide. Next is complex tabulation. Complex tabulation is also called as cross tabulation. So this is nothing but the statistical data includes extra data rather than two or more characteristics or attributes. For example, here the frequency of number of girls and boys and the total class owing different brands of laptop. So how we are going to cross tabulate it? Here in the cross tabulation, a subtype of complex tabulation that includes cross tabulation or cross classification factors to construct an eventually table of counts of frequencies at each combinations of dynamic levels are included. an incident table is also put on a show format, which includes to scrutinize and record the potential correlation among the two or more categorical variables. So, I have given some example. The cross tabulation includes the age wise category. Under age wise, male female were categorized, and which is represented in the table. Just have a look at the table. This is a simple problems on the tabulation. Let us understand, if a problem is given relating to you, how to tabulate the statistics. In our pilot study, we are taken an example, the pilot study on vegetarians and non-vegetarian food habits or their lifestyle in 2 cities. The city's information has given. In Chennai, the female were 40%, the total vegetarians were 45%, and male were non-vegetarians were 20% or non-vegetarian. In Coimbatore city, the male were 55% and the male non-vegetarians were 30% and female vegetarians were 15%. This is a question given to you, how we are going to tabulate. Let us understand, using this data, how we are going to tabulate the food habits of both the cities, Chennai and Coimbatore. See here, we are going to put the attributes, characteristics. Say for example, vegetarians and non-vegetarians as a characteristics or an attributes. Okay, that we put in a column, whereas the city we have been put into a 2 column wise. Row wise we have been put a vegetarian and non-vegetarian, column wise cities, and in the cities male female categories, and total survey the data was presented in this form. Okay, now let us understand the second examples or second problem relating to how to create a suitable table, how to prepare a suitable table. So, in this example, in the year 2016, the total strength of the students of 3 universities, namely Madras University, Delhi University and Mysore universities in 3 different cities are given 4:2:5 ratio. The strength of the Delhi University was 2000. Okay, the proportion of the girls and the boys in all universities is 2:3. The faculty-wise distribution of boys and girls in the faculties of arts, science and commerce was in the ratio of 1:2:3 in the 3 university. Using this information, you are asked to prepare a table or you are asked to construct a tabulation. How we are going to present this data in a tabular form? Just a look at this table. So, in the table, the universities we have taken as an attribute, the 2 universities we have been placed in a row wise. One is Madras University, Delhi University and Bangalore University. These are the attributes which we placed in a row wise. Whereas come to the column wise, in the column wise we have been put into the 3 areas or faculty wise 3 discipline, arts, science and commerce, and each disciplines again male female total we have been put. So, this is how we are representing the data and we are tabulating the data. So, using this statistical information. So, now you have understand how to construct the table, using how to solve the problems, how to create the tables. Now, let us understand what are the main techniques to be followed in the tabulation. Let us understand some of the important techniques of the tabulation. The main purpose of the tabulation is to simplify the complex information so that it can be easily understood. So, that is the first technique for why we are using this tabulation. And the second one is, under tabulation, data is divided into various parts. For each part, there are total and subtotals. Therefore, the relationship between each parts can be easily known. The third technique is, since data are arranged in a table with a title and the number, so these can be easily identified and used for required purposes. Okay. The next technique is, tabulation makes the data very brief, therefore, it can be easily presented in the form of graphs or charts or any other diagrams. Okay. Tables or tabulation presents only the numerical figures in an attractive form. So, that is another technique. Okay, presenting the statistics very attractive form is also one of the technique. And next is, tabulation makes very complex data simple, as well as it results very easier for the researchers or an examiner to understand. This form of presentation of data is useful in finding the mistakes. It is useful in condensing the collected data in a systematic manner. It makes easy to analyze the data from the table. The tabulation is very cheaper mode. Again, it is very cheaper mode. It saves the space. The tabulation is a device to summarize the large scattered data so that it maximize the information have been collected from these tables. These are some of the techniques we need to follow when we are tabulating the data. So, there are certain rules, there are certain criteria, there are certain criteria to tabulate. Let us understand what are the rules and regulations to be followed, standard rules and regulations to be followed in tabulation. The first rule, you have to concentrate on proper title. that is title should be properly named. The number, that is table number and title of the table, must be written above the table clearly. The second rule is the table should suit the size of the paper. Therefore, the width and the length of the table should be decided before you are handling the table, whether you should be present in a horizontal or vertical form. The third is number of columns and rows should be either to be too large or too small. You should be taken into the consideration. The captions and headings or subheadings of the columns and the headings and subheadings of the rows must be self-explanatory. Each columns and rows must be given title. The title of the columns is called upon the captions, or title of the rows is called stubs. As far as possible, figures must be approximated before tabulation. This would reduce the unnecessary details. Items should be arranged either in an alphabetical or chronological or geographical or according to the requirement or size of the researcher. The units of measurements under each headings or subheadings must always be indicated. Footnote can be written if necessary. Either use signs like X, Y, Z, etc. Okay. Finally, the subtotal and total of the items of each table must be written very clearly. Percentage are given in the tables is must and it is necessary, and ditto marks should not be used in tables because sometimes it creates confusions also. Table must be very simple and attractive. These are the some of the rules you should follow when you are preparing or when you are tabulating the statistics or any facts or figures for your research purpose. Now, let us understand, after the data has been tabulation, how we are going to analyze the data. A very important part, data analysis or data tabulation and analysis. It is an inadvisable for data analysis to condense without the production of data analysis plan. Before you are going to analyze the data tabulated, that is data analysis plan is must. So, data analysis plan, because such a plan is a part of good statistical practice. Okay. The lack of plan for analysis can often produce results that they are not relevant to the survey objectives, or more importantly, omit tables that are not needed. So, the primary advantages of preparing the data analysis plan at a survey planning stage is that it will first serve to highlight which data variable are really needed to achieve the survey objectives. For example, the relevance of all the informations in a questionnaire survey can be ascertained by checking whether they either somewhere in analysis plan. Okay. The second data analysis plan includes that a set of common standard for all the data analysts to follow in terms of table layout, heading, font size, spacing, etc. And the third, the data analysis plan, you should concentrate on outline, the list of tables to be produced and analysis technique to be followed so that the analyst can have a clear protocol to follow, thus enables analysis to completely, quick and effectively do the work. The checklist below the aim to highlight a number of figures related to the data analysis plan so that the survey manager can be confident that a quality assurance criteria in analysis results may be met. Okay, here the diagram explains you the data tabulation and analyst, how it is going to be helpful. Next, let us move on to some of the merits or advantages of the tabulation. Why we are giving much importance for the tabulation the data in the research? There are certain advantages, there are certain pros. Let us discuss one by one. What are the major merits or major advantages for the researchers in framing their statistical data in a tabular form? The number one is it simplifies very complex data and present the data in a very easier, simpler way to understand effectively. The second is it facilitates comparison of related facts. Okay, it facilitates consumption of various statistical measures like averages, dispersions, correlations, etc. And next is third one, it presents the facts in a minimum possible statistical base, that is minimum possible space, and unnecessary repetitions and explanations are avoided. Moreover, the needed information can be easily located. The tabulated data are good for references and they can be easily present in the form of information, in the form of either in the graph or diagrams. Now finally let us understand there are some limitations. Despite of these advantages also in tabulating the data, there are some limitations. Let us understand what are those limitations. The table contains only numerical data. That is also one of the disadvantages. They do not count any details. Okay. The second is the qualitative expression, it is not possible through the tables. And the third disadvantages is table can be used by experts only to draw conclusions. Common men cannot understand it properly. These are the limitations of the tabulations. So now let us conclude about the concept tabulation, how we are going to summarize the concept. So in order to summarize this tabulation, it is the collection and verification of data is completed on the basis of homogeneity and consistency. It needs to be summarized and presented in a clear and compact manner, which highlights the relevant figures of data. Both classification and tabulation enhances the readability and attractiveness of data by presenting it in a meticulous manner that looks more appealing to the eyes. It helps, and it finally, when we are summarizing the tabulation of data, it should be stressed that the tabulation plan is one of the most important document in the census preparation or data presentation or organization process or completion or presentation of any research work. Okay. And a major effort it is required to prepare is, once it is prepared, it should be seldom to change unless mistakes are found, and even then it is necessary to verify that adequate resources are available to undertake the new activities. If tabulation plans to change for more reason, all users mentioned above, internal and external, should be informed. So finally what I want to conclude is tabulation is a very important aspect in research. Okay, it helps the researchers to condense or concise the data and present the data in a systematic, meticulous way, so that it helps the researchers or readers to understand easily and to give the remarks or into understand the concept very effectively and efficiently. Okay, with this I will conclude this concept, dear students. Thank you.